back to another vanilla base design. This time we've got a dual/lazy trio base that includes plenty of storage, stable and efficient outer defenses, plus nice mobility. This base comes in simple defendable stages and all HQM sections can be upgraded at any time. Big thanks to you boys who are here building the bases and showing support. It's always cool to see my bases out there on some servers and I love seeing what you guys do with the bases. Just to remind you boys, I'm super active in the Discord down below, where you can ask any questions, interact, or get your base reviewed. The channel's been doing mad recently, so I've got you boys to thank for that, so cheers for showing your support. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. The main entrance is on the second floor, and there's windows on the left and right that you can look out of. The inner hallway provides access to some loot rooms, and the jump up. Heading deeper inside the base takes us towards some more loot spaces and our tier 3. You can hide anything you want behind the workbench and raiders might think it's TC. The way down to the bunker is guarded by an auto turret. Inside the core there's plenty of boxes, our TC and some space for bags. This time we're going to head up the jump up, taking us towards bedrooms. Bedrooms has plenty of space for boxes, lockers and beds. A ladder hatch in the middle takes us up the shooting floor. Inside the shooting floor we have a mix of different peek downs. There's also windows all the way around that you can look out of. And there are 3 wide gapped areas where you can check around the base. The roof has 3 jump ups in total, and next to each jump up is a roof peek up. 3 turrets guard the roof along with 3 separate roof peek ups. There's also plenty of ways to peek down and out towards enemies. There's also space for windmills on top. I only placed 1, however there's plenty of room for more. And this is how we access our roof peek up. And before I forget, this is how you seal your bunker. And when you wake up in the morning, this is how you open your bunker. To summarize, this is a 4 TC base made for duos. The extra 3 TCs are mainly used for the shooting floor and gatehouses. There's also a stability roof bunker inside the core, and plenty of box space around the base. Hopefully from here you boys want to know how to build the base, and let's get on to the starter. Of course you boys are going to need to know how much it costs to build this one. So on screen first of all is the total build cost, which includes all of the deployables. And then just to make things a little bit easier to look at, this is how many boxes of each material you'll need to build the base. And finally on screen this is the total upkeep for the base spread between the 4 TCs. As per usual boys, here's the footprint. If you need it, take a screenshot and make sure you've got enough space to build the base. For starters we're going to throw down a triangle and surround it in squares. Upgrade one of your squares to armored for the TC to sit on. Then you can surround the entire bottom floor with walls. We're going to upgrade these walls to armored, but it can be done at any point. Then you can place your TC on the back left corner of the armored foundation. Then you can place frames in between, and you can add a roof on top, leaving out the left square. Then from inside the base we're going to place 2 full walls and 2 half walls. Then you can add a frame on top of your half walls, and then you can use any method you want to get out of the base. Next we're going to add in triangle honeycombing in the sides. And on one of the sides where your bunker is, we're going to add a half height triangle. This triangle will later be used to place in our frame for our stability bunker. Then you can add walls all the way along all of your triangles. And once you've placed in all your walls, you can add floors on top. From the bunker entrance, we're going to place 2 walls on the left, and a wall and a frame on the right. Then you can add a ceiling on top of this. On the opposite side you can add in a half shelf as well. Then you can create a temporary way up to your base. Make sure you leave it wooden because we'll break this later. And then you can place down all your deployables and start farming up to make the base bigger. You guys can design the core however you like, or you can just copy what I've done. Once you're ready to continue, come up to the second floor and we're going to place a metal wall next to our door. Next to that we're going to add in a window frame, and you can upgrade that to metal as well. On the final square we're going to add in a stone frame, and then you can place walls in between everything else. Place a window in here for just now, but later on we're going to make a loot room. And you can also soft set out the fake entrance. Then from your entrance we can place a metal square, and then we can surround the square in metal walls. Add a floor on top, and you can place one more square with a roof slant on top. To complete the airlock we're going to add window frames, a door in the middle, and a ceiling on top. All of this can be stone, and then you can place in your doors and windows. The triangle on our right is going to be our jump up, so let's place a wall and a half triangle. Then you can place a frame in front and add on a door. Then you can miss out that triangle and add a metal ceiling on top of the whole base. This completes phase 2 of the base. Next we're going to start building the external TCs. On each side of the base we're going to place a square and a triangle. Once you've placed in your 3 twig triangles all the way around the base, we're going to use those to build our wide gap shooting floor. From the triangle you're going to build out with 2 squares, add a triangle on the end, and then break everything before it. Then you can build back using triangles, and then you can upgrade the final 2 triangles. Break everything before this, and then you can repeat those steps on the other 2 sides. Now we have 3 sections of wide gap all the way around the base that we're going to need to connect to an external TC because right now they're decaying. Start by placing 3 twig triangles, followed by a square, and this is going to be our gatehouse. You can upgrade your square to metal, this triangle to stone, and break these 2. And then from here you can build any external TC you'd like, or you can use the one I've linked in the description. Once your external TC is built and your gatehouse is connected, you can repeat those steps on the remaining 2 sides. Keep in mind that these foundations aren't connected, so you need to place on some frames to connect them to the TC. Once you've got all your external TCs down, we can start building a compound around the base. Beside each armoured wall we're going to place in a metal square, and then after those we can place 2 stone squares. Cap them off with a triangle, and then you can add 1 square and a triangle off your entrance. Then on the end of each square we're going to place in a frame and a shop front. Next we can place compound walls in between each section. You only need 2 walls to fill in each gap. Start by clipping a high wall halfway inside the external TC and then pull it slightly towards the base. Then you can close up the gap by connecting the wall to the frame. Same thing on this side, halfway inside the embrasure and then pull it back slightly towards the base. And then you can connect it perfectly to the shop front. Then just repeat that all the way around the base. In total you're going to need 12 wooden high walls. And once your compound's complete, just place some barricades around wherever you need them. Now that we've completed the compound, we can start working on the base again. Come outside of the base and we're going to honeycomb the armoured walls. Add a metal layer on the bottom and a stone layer on the top. And then do that to this side as well. Just to quickly remind you guys that even during the starter phase, your bunker is already good to use. Just place a frame onto the right hand side with a roof on top. And then you can upgrade your roof. And then whenever you want to log back on, spawn in your bag and break the twig. You guys can design the second floor however you'd like, or you can just copy what I've done. Once you're ready to continue, come outside and surround the stone floors with metal frames. Leave out the wall closest to the base, and then once you've done that you can add a metal frame on top. Then you can surround the entire base with walls. And we're going to upgrade this whole floor to metal as well. Add a wall behind the jump up, and then a single door, and a double door. After that we're going to add walls to divide down the middle. And then you can place frames in the middle triangle. Then you can place in all your batteries and lockers. Keep in mind you might need to shut the garage doors underneath. Once you place your deployables, add windows in front. And then you can add a frame above for a ladder hatch. The rest of this floor can get a metal ceiling on top. Design this floor however you'd like, and make sure you store kits up here to defend your base. Next up we're going to be building the shooting floor. Start by walling in your ladder hatch. Then you can place a door frame in front, and a garage door. Next we're going to place in low ramps around all of our squares. You might need to break some deployables underneath. Next we're going to create a half square inside these frames. Once you've got a half square you can place in a ramp, raised and rotated. Once your ramp's down, upgrade it, and then you can break the twig underneath. Repeat that on the remaining 2 sides. Next we're going to place metal triangles coming off the sides of the base. Place in all of your triangles like this and leave a gap in the sides. In order to fill in that gap at the top, we're going to place frames coming up from our wide gap. Upgrade these frames to metal, and then build the structure on the remaining 2 sides. Once you've placed all your frames, you can add in a square. On each triangle, we're going to add in double door frames. And then you can add a window frame in front of your wide gap, and then window frames all the way along the base. Then you can place in your double doors, and those double doors will create a peak down along with your wide gap. Next, you can place in all of your embrasures. Then just a section off the shooting floor, we're going to place a frame in the middle of the ramps, and then a wall at each side. Next, we're going to add a roof on top of the base. Place in your squares first, then your triangles in between. Then we're going to add frames on top of your doors, and fill in the rest. Finally, you can add a square on here. Make sure you place the square at the end because it will block the frames. Then you can upgrade your whole roof to stone, except for the middle triangle, we're going to make that metal. The roof has 3 jump ups in total, so let's build them. Face your 2 frames and the jump ups are going to be on the left of each one. Add half walls inside your jump ups for turrets. You can add a roof on top and a frame. The remaining triangle frames are going to get turned into roof peak ups. Place half walls on the sides and a low wall in front. Then you can add a ceiling on top and upgrade everything to stone. On the middle triangle, we're going to raise up by 2 frames for our windmill. Place a triangle on the top and a triangle facing towards our entrance. Then you can throw down your windmill. At each end of the roof, we're going to place a window frame. You can place in a horizontal embrasure here, and we can use this to head glitch down. In order to get the perfect angle for the head glitch, we're going to place a raised ramp, and we can use this to look down. At each side of the ramp, we're going to place in some triangle roofs. And then finally, we'll place triangle roofs on top of our peak ups. And then you can upgrade all of your triangle roofs. Once you've done that, place on anything else you might need on the roof, like beds or searchlights. You can place furnaces inside the shooting floor to stand on. One furnace can take you out onto the roof, and the other furnace takes you to the roof peak up. And then once you've done that, that completes the base design. Hopefully you boys did enjoy this video. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to put them in the comments, or you can join my Discord that's linked in the description. I really hope to see this base out there on some servers. And if you boys did enjoy the video, then please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, it would help me out a ton. And I'll see you boys in the next one.